and spice. Yeah. And make everything there feel nice. No, no. Yeah. A little sugar and spice. Yeah. And make everything there feel nice. Yeah. The shawty bad to the.
Welcome to the Sugar and Spice podcast. That's good. Alrighty, guys. So welcome. We're gonna talk more about Pop the Balloon. And then I went on a little fact-finding mission, and I posted to my personal TikTok just for people to comment about their worst first dates. And boy, did we get a response.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if you're prepared for some of these. I definitely was not prepared. I'll start mild.
Okay.
The one girl goes, a guy took me to a group activity on the first date. And I was like, oh, a group activity. I was like, that sounds horrendous. I said, well, he should have shown up in a clown car.
A group activity.
Yes, a group activity. Not even a date, a group activity.
Oh, I'm like, is group
that's not,
activity
like,
code?
horrible.
Like, is
It's
group
not-
activity code?
Hey, is that like Gen Z talk? Like, whatever. This one, I went on a date once to a restaurant. The guy asked if he could chew my food like a mama bird does for a baby and spit it into my mouth. I was like, the bar is in hell.
What restaurant is this?
I don't know. But like, I would have said, check, please. Check, please, immediately.
This is first date, or this
This is
just...
the very first date. Very first date. This one took me out. The guy took me to Tim Hortons, asked me if I liked dinosaurs. I said, Jurassic Park. Yeah, why not? He whips out his cock and said, how about Cockosaurus Rex?
At a Tim Hortons?
At a Tim Hortons. I was like, ma'am, I hope you called the cops.
Yeah.
I hope we reported him. Met a guy at a club and we seemed to hit it off. He called me a couple days later to schedule a date. While at a restaurant, we had conversations that were all drug related. Do you like this? Have you ever done this? As he's driving me home, he stops in the worst part of town to buy crack. I never spoke to him again. Ladies, this is why we always drive by ourselves.
Yeah.
You never have the guy pick you up. Always meet him somewhere.
Agreed.
Like, we don't need to be getting in cars with people like this. Like, safety first, okay?
Yes.
Another one. The guy insisted on paying for everything and wouldn't let me pay half. I offered multiple times. At the end of the date, he crashed out when I wouldn't stay the night, saying, you women are all the same. You want us to pay for everything but never give us anything in return. Safe to say I never called him again.
Well, so I'm pretty like 50-50 is a no.
Fair.
No for me. That's just me personally. Like, I feel like...
But like, what if you're getting the vibe where they expect you to sleep with them and you're like, I'm not interested?
Well, then I'm saying I'm going to the bathroom and then I never come back. So
You like a good Irish exit.
Yes.
Irish goodbyes.
Andrea loves an Irish exit. So no, but like, I feel like, and it doesn't have to be the guy. I feel like the onus is on whoever asked for the date to pay.
Yes.
If the other person wants to offer to pay half, then great, bonus. But if you're asking for the date, then you should not expect the other person to pay for half.
Absolutely.
I'm
very much like, I will always offer to pay for half because I want to make it clear that just because you're paying for me does not mean you have the right to my body. So that's where I'm like, I was going to pay. And if they're like, oh, no, it's okay. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Then I step back. But like, I never want that especially now as I get older, I don't want that like thought going forward to be like, oh, I'm paying. So especially the way the dating game is now, I'm like, I'm not interested in that shit. I think this one took the prize, and like, we'll end off on this one. I had a Bumble coffee date with a guy who showed up straight from the gym, smelly and all. Nonstop talked about his bouncing stories as a bouncer. And acted out with loud yelling and swearing and gestures how he would beat people up. Then topped it off with telling me how he hates drunk, hysteric girls and wished he could punch their teeth in. Needless to say, I excused myself early, and when he messaged me the next day with, "Thought I scared you off," I blocked him. I I
Did, sir.
I probably would have blocked him before I even left that coffee shop.
Locked him
Like,
right in the car.
yeah,
Goodbye.
immediately, like, no, we're not dealing with that. That's scary.
A little bit of roid rage, maybe.
Roid, that's immediately what I thought of. I was like,
Yeah.
this is a roid rage incident because, like, I know quite a few bouncers, and I'm like, they've never said, like, I want to punch that girl's teeth in. Like, a guy, yeah, like, we've all seen drunk guys,
Yeah.
but, like, they've never said that about a girl. I'm like, come on now.
Wow.
Yeah, so the bar is in hell, guys. But it's okay because we're all here together. All right. Pop
The
the balloon.
balloon.
I'll let you start.
Um,
First off, wait, hold on. Hashim, what are you doing here? Hashim. I'm so happy we watched Temptation Island because then I
Yes.
was like, Hashim.
Yes. So
He's such a
Hashim,
quiet boy.
he is such a quiet boy, but smart guy, Princeton graduate. He made sure to make that known.
Yes.
And he has his own tech
Yeah, which I
fashion.
don't think we ever learned about that in Temptation Island. So
Well, because they're in Hawaii and they're just wearing
yeah,
whatever. But he had like,
and like after hearing him on this and stuff like that, I'm like, why did you even go on Temptation Island? Like he just doesn't seem like that type, other than it was just kind of like a let's
for exposure.
yeah, let's just sign up and see what happens.
Well, he did say, we'll get into it, but he did say he wasn't looking for anything serious right now.
Fair.
Super serious.
Fair.
So,
Fair.
like, and Temptation Island, not super serious. And, like, obviously he has his own thing, so it may have just been a source of extra exposure. And like, going on here is
and
probably
let's be
more
fair
exposure for him,
too. It was last year as well.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So even though we're seeing him live now, it's like, oh, I feel kind of like, oh, you didn't date anybody last year? Like you're such a cutie pie.
Kind of, but he said he's not looking for anything serious.
Fair.
So maybe he's just, you know.
Fair. And I will say, like, I personally found the crop of guys this week very good.
Oh,
Like there was quite a few where I was like, I would pick him.
okay, then
I would pick him.
let's get into it. Let's
Yeah.
get into it. So
All right.
first we had Lainey, 29, medical company, head of patient or head of relationship.
Clinical partnership or something.
Something.
So I was like, oh, it made me think of, I'm like, oh, does she like do like clinical partnership? I think of like when you are scheduling like nurses to do their like their rotation, like their co-op or something. Like that's kind of what I thought of.
Well, this is also the state, so I feel like their hospital system is like
There's a lot more like
bureaucracy and stuff,
admin stuff that happens with them.
Yes, because they're for profit.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Obviously, her deal breaker was does not want kids. Fair. That's
like
that the guy like just obviously
she
wants
kids.
Yes.
And she said she's not in a super rush, but like,
you let's start thinking about it.
You need
like
to.
She's 29. Let's get into prime age, right?
Yeah.
So we met Griffin. He popped it right off the back. Looks like
his sister.
Fair.
It was kind of a shock because it's like, why are you popping? And then he's like, she kind of looks like one of my sisters. Okay.
That like, I'm sorry, you look like somebody in my family, or you have the same name. It's a no.
Yeah. That's
cannot.
weird.
Yeah,
that is weird.
And then, so then she asked the question, what are you proud of that others see as a red flag? And I was like, this is a very interesting question. I actually liked it because like it kind of like let me see like how people perceive themselves opposed to how other people perceive them.
Yeah, but I'm like, wow, it was a good question, but at the same time, it's like being on the spot.
Yeah, that's hard.
That's a hard one because it's like, I feel like you need to reflect a little bit.
Yeah.
So like kudos to all the guys.
They came up with pretty decent enough answers.
Yes.
Like we had Drew, 32, the CPA. I'm not gonna lie, he kind of gave me really weird guy vibes. Like he's the reenactor. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll go LARPing with you. I'm a LARPer. I'm okay with that. Like, live action role playing. I'm okay with that. You want to go, like, I'll go to a Ren fair. I'll be a fairy. I'll be a knight, whatever. I don't know, though. Like, he just kind of gave me, like, really weird, creepy vibes where I was like, I feel like he's going to chain me in his basement. Sorry, Drew. So sorry.
In a civil reenactment.
Yes. Like, honestly, I'm gonna feel like the 1812s. And I say that too as living in Niagara-on-the-Lake at the time of the anniversary of the War of 1812 is when we moved here.
Oh, okay.
And so it was like Niagara-on-the-Lake was packed with reenactors. Oh yeah. Packed. Like we
Do
actually
they do
went
it
and
every
watched
year?
it.
Or
I think it was because
just
it was the
an
anniversary.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Okay. Just curious.
We met Devin. I really liked Devin.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He was the one with kids.
Oh, did
I
he
think
have
he had
kids?
kids. Devin had kids? No. Which one had kids?
I didn't know any of them had kids.
Yes.
I missed
No,
that.
in the very intro.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it was Devin. It was Devin because he was the older one because he's 35.
35, yeah.
Yes. He's the self-care guy. He likes to do self-care.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Pedicure.
the pedicure everyday thing, that was weird.
That's
to
a
me.
lot. But what's a pedicure though? Like, cause
Yeah,
like,
because he could just consider like maybe like trimming his toenail. I appreciate that.
trimming his toenails, maybe
Filing it
running a loofah,
Yeah.
doing some filing.
Okay, cool.
But
Like
still, like to do that every day, that's a lot.
that's a lot. Like that's a lot of time carved
And a
out.
facial
Okay.
every day is
Hey,
a lot.
I'm down for that. Like I was just like I was like, I really like him. Then we met Dominic, 30. He was the health coach. Confidence perceived as arrogance. I understood what he meant when he was talking about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if she did.
No.
I think she kind of was like, "Oh, so you're arrogant." And I was like, "No, I think he genuinely came, I think it was the cornrows too that were kind of giving him that elevated arrogance a little bit. But like I understand where he was like, I'm a confident person, and some people can take that as being arrogant.
Yeah.
Fair. Like I can see that. And then we met Hashim. Aw. He's a year older now. He's 30 now. And flirty. Like I could see that as some people. Like I have a very just flirty personality myself. So I can see some people might be maybe not so much see that as a red flag, but they might be intimidated by that or like insecure. Like depending on like whatever's gone on in your past, like if somebody's a flirty individual, like you could be sensitive to how they
Interact
talk to other
with
people.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then Elliot.
I can't remember. Oh. You know, he reminded me of the guy from last week.
Yeah, or 2 weeks ago.
Kept taking himself out. Yeah.
Yeah. What was that guy's name?
I don't have the right book with me.
Oh, I'll look. You.
So he's not a texter, and he's an in-person guy. No pen pals. I am so sorry. He straight up gave me red pill vibes. Oh yes,
Orlando.
Yes. Elliot gave me red pill vibes. And we saw that later on when he was like, I prefer women younger than me.
Oh yeah, he was popping his balloon for
everybody. And I was just like, yeah, you want to be the controller in the relationship.
Yeah.
You want somebody who you can mold, who you can be influential on. Like you don't want a strong independent woman.
No. Yeah, no, he was not for me.
Bye.
Yeah.
And then Dylan, who was like the model masseuse trainer. I liked him too. He was kind of my vibe. He was cutie. He was a cutie, light skinned boy.
Yeah.
I understood where she came from, where he was like, I have female friends, and because I was like, what is because I am somebody who have male friends, but like I also understand how that's perceived by girlfriends.
Yeah.
To have a female who's a close friend, so it's like, okay, so like what's the degree of friendship there? Like, are these your exes? Are these girls who are waiting for their chance and do you friend zone them? Like, what's the situation? And then Lorenzo.
I got such a kick out of that guy. Like he
English, not his first language.
No, well, yeah, and still clearly learning English. Like I felt well, we'll get into it later, but like I felt a little bad for him. I did because like I think he wanted to say a lot more, but he just wasn't comfortable with his, like,
trying to explain it. I
Yes.
think, yeah, I think like he didn't know how to explain what he wanted to say, right?
yes,
Like
yes,
his wires were getting crossed in his head. So like,
yes,
and then yeah, so obviously like Griffin took himself out. She popped Drew, not her vibe. Popped Hashim, not her type. Or not, no, he popped his because she's not his type.
yes.
Elliot, I think he popped himself because of her. No,
No,
she
she
popped
popped
him.
him and took him down a peg by saying he wasn't buff enough like the rest of them.
Yes. Yes, I appreciated that. Dylan, I think it was just like friend vibes, right?
He
popped it.
popped
He popped
because
fair.
he was like, yeah, like he's like, I think we could hang out.
And then
friends.
obviously she popped like Lorenzo for being the no drums.
Yeah, which is fair. I
Fair,
get
but
that.
you should have said like I have a studio. I have a studio.
He said it after.
I know.
I don't think she would have went based on who she ended up with. I don't think she would have went for Lorenzo anyway.
Okay,
so
so then like question number 2, how important is family? And I was like, I knew he was gonna ask that because I remember he had kids. But which I think I'm surprised that he wouldn't mention he has kids. Like that's something you should probably mention.
absolutely.
Like that first row of like what's like you could have even worked it into that first answer too. Like what's something you're proud of that other people would see of my kids.
My kids.
Like I'm proud of my kids, even though maybe the mom and I aren't together. I'm still proud that they're my kids.
Right.
So I just like that's
Some
the one.
people just don't want to date other people with kids, which
Fair.
is that's fair.
Like she said, obviously she wants kids, but wanting kids and then wanting to take on somebody else's kids, it's a whole different story.
Absolutely.
It's not for everybody, and that should be something that's like brought up right in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right. And like obviously, she definitely gave me the mom group friend vibe. Like she's the mom of the group of friends.
Oh, and she said multiple times, like,
yeah,
I'm like a mom to them, I'm a mom figure to them.
Yeah, for sure. Dominic's question was interesting, which was like, how sexually explorative are you in your relationship?
That what I'm like, maybe we asked that in private. Maybe we asked that in the love lounge.
Yeah, that's more of a love lounge question. But I was like, okay. And she gave a really good answer. I was like, oh, okay, girl. So you got a little freak hiding behind you. Which I was like, okay, based on that question, I feel like maybe like obviously then now we're down to the 2 of them.
Yeah.
And like I liked her question too. Like, what's something you like to do but don't get to do it often? And like obviously Dominic was like, see my family, like we're separated by distance. And then Devon's was like exploring nature. And I'm like, I feel like there could have been something in there too about your kids. Like there just could have been something about the kids.
Yeah.
But I kind of got the feeling that she was feeling Devon more than Dominic, which is fair. They ended up locking it. Like I hope maybe they went to I would have locked it with him too. Just saying. Like he's my vibe. So hopefully they talked about it in the love lounge about the fact that he has kids. I'm sure maybe we'll find out next week. But we didn't get an update this week.
And they had a few locks the week
So
before.
maybe nothing happened.
Maybe they had, I don't know. Maybe that's why we had
hoping.
Maybe that's why we had 4 contestants instead of 3. We did not have an update.
Yeah, true. I was kind of hoping, like I thought that was going to be a thing about like an update, but hey. I will say though, I feel like the episodes are getting better as like the host gets more comfortable.
I think so.
Everybody gets more comfortable with like what's happening. All right. Second contestant of the night. We met April. 35 Detroit. I was like, thank you. I really liked her. I thought she was pretty.
Yes.
And I loved her hair. Like, I don't know what that guy was saying, but whatever.
I know. That was very awkward.
He was very weird.
And
he was the newbie, right?
Yes, that guy was so weird.
Dylan?
No. No.
I don't even think I wrote down his name on this one because I think she like popped it immediately because he was weird. Chris?
Yes.
Chris. Okay.
He was like a small lurch. Like he
was weird. He had a weird body proportion.
Yes.
Like you're a PT.
Well, got a good line.
Fair. So like immediately, like she walked out, and it was Dominic, Elliot, and Dylan popped because of her age, and I'm
Yes.
like, which anyway, we'll get to it. But Elliot kind of rubbed me the wrong way because the girl later on, he didn't pop right
Pop
away,
right away.
and she was older too.
Yeah. She was 34.
Yeah. Anyway, I think he was just hoping for a young girl. I think he was hoping for like 22, 23-year-old.
Yep.
So her question was, she's very picky, and like, I'm the same girl. Like, picky's not a bad thing. Like, this is somebody you're spending time with. Like, I'm gonna be picky. So she has sensitive ears, chewing, mouth noises. I'm like, fair. Like, what are your biggest icks? Also, like, Griffin was a little bit weird. He was like quirky, but like kind of weird. Like,
I didn't mind him.
I don't know. I was just like, oh, like I was like, he's a goofball.
Like,
I think he would make you laugh.
yes.
He would 100% make you laugh. Like, I did appreciate like the entitlement, like messy and like shy people. I was like, those are decent icks. Like, those are very like personality based icks,
Yes.
not just like physical related. Which I was like, and he's older too,
Yeah, he was
which is
35
nice. Like, I
or
appreciated
36, whatever
I
it was.
appreciated having like the older spectrum this week.
Yeah.
Because like otherwise the other weeks were like pretty young. Like
Yes.
either the contestants were young or the panel was young.
Most people were, I think, over 30 on the.
Yes.
Yes.
Drew with the body hair thing.
He's like, I don't even like my own body hair. Okay, good for you. Like, what? You expect someone to like shave literally every day because you don't like a little bit of body hair?
Are
Like,
you gonna pay for like my weekly sugaring? Like, are you gonna pay for my laser hair removal?
but then he wouldn't want you to sugar because you have to grow your hair
That's
a little
true.
bit to sugar. He
That's
would
true.
want you shaving every day.
Absolutely not. I'm so sorry. Unless you are shaving your taint every day. No, not happening.
Yeah, that was like,
So safe to say that was a quick.
but he popped because
Oh,
he
did
was like,
he?
yeah, he's like, I
He
felt
popped
like,
it after he popped it after the other people though, I think, right?
yes,
Because
but
they all
he
were
was
like,
like,
popping.
you walk past here, and he's like, I felt like our heights were a little too.
Mm.
He's like, he said he was 6 foot. I'm like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah. And then Chris was like talking about others, no gossip. I was like, I knew she was gonna go pop that. I'm like,
she was just
she goes to
waiting.
brunch. She goes to brunch with her girlfriends and they gossip. Like, get over yourself.
She was waiting to pop that guy. I would have
And
been
then
popping that guy too.
he was like, oh, it's the hair. And I'm like, the fuck's wrong with her hair? I'm like, do you know how much that hair cost? Buddy, this is LA.
It got really awkward. Like,
And you could tell the host, she was like, oh, this is getting dangerous territory.
No, the host did not like that. You could tell by the look on her face. Like, she was.
It's like, read the room, buddy. Like,
I think she made I think she even said, like, what do you mean by, like, what's wrong with her hair? Or
yeah,
something.
she was like, what's wrong with her hair?
Quiet.
I know. And then like Hashim coming in with the, oh, I love your hair, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, oh, forever a sweet king, that one. And like his was fair, like no rude girls. I understand that. And like poor Lorenzo is just like,
what was he talking about?
I don't know.
I'm like, what are you saying?
I just have, what the fuck?
He was like, Bush. I'm like,
I didn't know what he meant by that.
I know. I'm like, is it something he was trying to say that just wasn't translating?
I feel like yes. Or did he mean like no body hair as in no bush, please?
I'm like, poor Lorenzo.
Which I honestly don't even know why they would have picked him to be up on there. Yeah.
Maybe when they interviewed him, it wasn't too bad. But then once he got up there in a situation where like you can't practice or because maybe they have like set questions.
Yeah. So like they maybe send them to you ahead of time, right? And you fill them out. Maybe you write them out. Like they send you an email questionnaire. Can you speak English fluently? Maybe we should add that.
Yes. So I felt bad.
Yeah. So then, so we lost Lorenzo, we lost Chris, we lost Drew, and then the three boys. So immediately we're down to Hashim and Griffin.
Yeah.
And like, what does consistency look in your life, and incorporate that with your and how do you incorporate that with your partner? I was like, these are like, they're good questions, but like not on the spot questions.
I know, because I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like, I feel like they try and go too deep with the questions,
Yes.
and it's like, maybe you should just be asking, like, surface stuff. Like, people who say, like, "Do you wanna have kids?" Like, hit those, like, major deal breakers
Yeah.
for you and then, like, get to know the person to come
Yeah,
up with
yeah,
that.
some of them are just like, I feel like maybe with this question, like, you could have just said, like, "How do you incorporate your partner into your everyday life?" Like, that could have been a better question because I feel like they always, like, lead with, like, a lead up little blurb or whatever, and then it's the question, and half the time you're like, "What was the question?"
Yeah.
And then the guys don't even know how to answer it properly, like, I don't know. I was, like, same with, like, the consistency thing, I was like, I don't know how you want them to answer that. Like,
Yeah.
what do they do consistently in their life? I was kind of like, I don't know. I was kind of like, so she obviously popped
Griffin.
Griffin.
And
Fair.
fair. She said she's just more physically attracted to Hashim.
Yeah.
Fair. And then Hashim was like, "Just joking. Pop."
Yeah. What are you doing? Like, I don't know. Because I especially thought because of that last question where he was like, I travel a lot for work. Like, how does that work for you? And she was like, that's great. Like,
Yeah.
I'm an autonomous person, which, like, she's like, as long as there's strong communication. So I was like, oh, okay. But then I was like, Hashim, what are you doing? Like, what are you
I'm
doing?
telling you, with guys, like, and it doesn't matter if they're
Do they
sweet.
just want to say, like, oh, I'm better than all these other guys? I made it to the end?
Yes. I think it becomes that's the problem with the show because I think it becomes a competition on the guy side and probably on the girl side too. Can I get to the end?
Fair. Like, can I beat out all of these people and
Yes.
make it to the end? I guess, yeah. Which
Because he could have popped a long time ago to
100%.
be like, "Oh, you're 35." She wasn't shy about saying. I think she said right at the beginning that she was
Yeah.
looking for.
Serious. I think
Yes,
all of the girls were like, I'm looking for serious. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, you should have popped it right away knowing that you're not looking for serious.
right.
Come on, Hashim.
Yeah,
All right. So obviously they popped. I hope she comes back next week and she's on
on
like
the
the panel.
lineup. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's really pretty. I think,
for sure. I think she definitely like she just needs a different. I was like, I I thought she would have done well with the guy who what's her face picked? Devin? Was it
oh,
Devin? I think that they would have hit it off. And I was kind of surprised that what was his name? That Dominic, even though it's an age thing, even though she was like, but you guys are only like 31. Like, what do you care if I'm 35? It's a 4 year difference. And I feel like when you get to 30s, it doesn't matter that much
right.
anymore. Like you guys are fully developed, hopefully, in your brain. Like, but who knows? So
Amira
34.
was apparently on Big Brother and The Challenge. I watched Big Brother too, but I'm like,
Which
do I
one?
remember
I
her?
don't I don't know her. I don't know her, but I liked her. I thought she was cute and fun and like I don't know, she was cute.
She was just like a little tiny one.
Yeah, she was like in a pocket.
Yeah,
Obviously Elliot age thing.
yeah.
Like ew, and he kept making that stupid DM joke. Like, oh well, like after the show you can always slide into my DMs. I was like, give this guy a podcast mic and then he'll fit right in with Andrew Tate. Like,
Oh,
good lord. I liked her question of like, what are your hobbies? Because I was like, girl, you're a beekeeper? Damn. Like she had some really interesting hobbies that she likes to do. And like first off, like the guys who were like married to their jobs, oh, like I do my hobby as my job or
yeah.
whatever. And it's like, well, that's great and all, but like, what do you do for fun outside of that, right?
Right.
Like, what are you gonna do? You have to understand that she's asking like what you're gonna be interested in
What
to plan
fun.
for dates or
Yeah.
whatever, right?
Good for her for just like, if your work is your hobby.
Fair, because at the end of the day, you're never gonna compete with a man who's in love with his job. Like, you're always gonna be the other woman when it comes to that.
So based on that, she popped Griffin.
Mm-hmm.
She popped Chris because everyone would pop Chris.
Drew.
And no, she popped Drew because she said he just wasn't her type.
Yeah.
He had activities. He said, I like or he had hobbies. He's like, I like activities. I like
Yes,
football.
true. Yes, he did have a lot of stuff, but I kind of was like, yeah, he didn't really give me like her type vibe. Um, and then she popped Dominic too.
She popped Dominic. No reason
No,
really.
really.
I think it was when they were.
Was she like
You have to pop someone.
fair?
Because she was gonna pop Lorenzo, and he was like, "Our future children would be so
and she was
beautiful."
like, oh,
And then she was like, "Okay," and then
yeah,
she popped Dominic because I think she regretted it after because she was like, "I think we would have gotten along well together."
yeah. So I'm hoping maybe they like crossed paths in passing, and then like hooked up with each other at some point. Dylan, 31, running as a hobby, boxing, people watcher. I love that he like clarified, like, I like hitting guys in the ring.
Yes,
Not
guys,
not girls. Oh, thank you so much, Dylan. The second, so then it was what? It was Hashim, Dylan, and Lorenzo for question 2. What are like some unconventional first dates you like? I like that because I'm not a coffee person for a first date. I'm not like, I'll maybe do drinks and appies, but like otherwise I want to do something fun. Like let's do something where we can have like situational humor. It's not gonna be like awkward like interviews. Like let's
Yeah,
go play mini putt. Let's go bowling. Let's go, I don't know, like let's go play pool. Something
yeah.
that can keep us busy so that if there is a lull in conversation, you don't
There's
feel it.
yes. Good point.
Like axe throwing.
Axe throwing. Yes.
All right. Dylan, what's your sleep schedule like? And I think he was like, what? Like he goes to bed at 9, he gets up at 4. Like makes sense. Like if he's into boxing and running and
Yeah.
training and stuff. I like that she was like, I'm inconsistent with sleep, but like I'm respectful.
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna bother
Like
you
at
if
the
you're
end of the
sleeping.
day, like that's fine. Like that would be me. I'd be like, I don't really care what time you go to bed. I will be respectful of you. I don't really care. Like I feel like when it comes to like sleep and stuff like that, like you can work with each other on that as long as you're not like a light sleeper where if I'm getting into bed at like midnight,
You're waking
you're
up.
waking up,
Yeah.
and then I can see that being an issue. But and then like I'm just gonna we'll just take Lorenzo out because he just started getting really weird after that.
Well, he was like, I don't have any questions. And I think it's like not that he didn't have anything that he wanted to ask, but he didn't feel comfortable enough with his English to ask questions.
Fair. Yeah. I think yeah. I don't know like what he was thinking was going to happen on this show. Like
I
it
don't know.
makes me wonder if he thought it was going to be something different.
Maybe.
Like somebody didn't translate it properly
And
for
then
him.
he just walked on and he's like, oh boy.
I know he was just like essentially like, I'm Italian. I'm from Italy. So then we're just down to Hashim and Dylan. And what 3 qualities are you looking for in a guy? What are your 3 qualities?
Me?
Yeah.
Someone who's kind. Um, Someone who gives princess treatment. And
Certified princess.
and I don't know, like I don't know, just someone like that we have values that align. Because, like, I wouldn't be, you see those people who are like, I had to cancel my husband's vote out at the ballot box. Like, that couldn't be me.
That
Could
could
not be me.
never be me.
No,
Never in my life.
no. So I need someone who, like, we're aligned on.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. Like you need to be in a household with somebody where your values, morals, and I'm sorry, at the end of the day, your political voting is either the same or similar. You're running
Right.
similar circles.
You're not
like,
canceling each other
yeah,
out at the
yeah, no,
ballot box. So,
no, no.
well, what about you?
Mine, a big one is like honesty and transparency.
Okay, yeah.
For me, like
Yeah.
I don't care if like for me, all I want is honesty and transparency. Like if you're not interested, just tell me. Don't lead me on. Don't pretend. If you're just looking to hook up, just let me know and then let me go on my way. Don't lie and like play it up as if you're like wanting more, stringing me along. Like no, like let's just be adults and we'll go our separate ways. There's nothing wrong with that. Another one huge for me is like somebody who's kind, but like I think um was it Dylan who said that? Like when you're kind to like servers, janitors, service people.
That was Hashim when he was talking
Hashim,
about
okay.
no rude girls.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Agreed.
like you better treat the janitor the same way you treat the CEO.
Yeah.
Because and like that comes from me being a server and a bartender for years. Is like I know more about your life than you do. So unless you want me spilling your secrets, be nice to me because I know everybody's secrets. Um and then I think another quality I'm looking for is honestly just a good communicator.
Yeah.
Like you're emotionally intelligent, you can communicate feelings, and you're patient because I am not the best when I'm upset communicating my feelings. So like I need somebody who's going to just like sit there and be patient with me and like not crash out with me because I need somebody to support me when I crash out.
Fair.
So I need like somebody like who can be my pillar of strength when I'm not, and then I am also their pillar of strength. Because like I find I am that for a lot of people in my life. So like that's what I mainly like would want in my partner is somebody to like I don't have to hide stuff from them and I can just like fall apart and be okay with them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's mine. Um yeah, so like Hashim's was understanding, respectfulness, and then like likes me back. I was like, fair. I was like, that's a pretty I think people forget the basics, but Dylan's was like humor, spontaneous, selfless acts of kindness and stuff like that. And I was like, that's cute. Obviously, she locked with Dylan.
Yep.
I hope we get an update from that because I think they were cute. And then I love that he was like, I have to ask another question.
I know. She's like, host is like, what? You don't get to ask any more
He's
questions.
like, no, but I do. I have huge respect for that licking the plate thing because that was my grandmother. My grandmother, it didn't matter where she was like, I'm licking this plate if it's good. Fair. If you're gonna do it respectfully, I go for it. I don't care. Lick the plate.
I was so appalled by that.
Oh, I'm like, go at it. I was with her when she was like, you can have my plate too. Have it. But I like that he was like, I do it respectfully. I'm not just gonna be like,
well, how do you do that respectfully though? Like,
I don't know. I appreciate
that was
it.
my other. I was like, how are you doing that like discreetly at
You're
a
like,
restaurant?
that's my ick.
That is my ick. Like, if someone picked up their plate and started, if you're at home, okay, fine, maybe, but like not in a restaurant.
It doesn't bother me. I've done it in a restaurant before.
You've licked your plate in a
Yep.
restaurant.
Yep. Especially if it was like a dessert. Absolutely.
But doesn't like running the fork along?
No, you don't get it all.
I don't think I've ever licked my
No?
plate. Like, I definitely enjoy food and I enjoy desserts.
I would say like it's only ever been for desserts because I feel like with the dinner portion, there's always bread. So like I use the bread to sop everything up if it's really good. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I will never do it around you. It's okay.
Well, I don't care. Like, if you want, but I'm just saying, like, my partner, I would be. That would
I
be
give it
weird.
mine too. I was like, I'll give you more than my plate, buddy.
Okay, so
All right, on to Cosette.
Cosette, 35, mermaid entertainer. She's done
Love that.
something else before.
Yeah, she's a recruiting director.
Okay.
I love that. I was like, love her. I want to be a mermaid.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, I have like a something that like lets me swim or like some
Yeah, so
kind of."
she's actually like when you go to be these like mermaids. So she's one of the ones that's like in a tank. So you have to go get certified for that because you have to be able to swim with the fin. So it's like another level of scuba diving or like snorkeling. Like you actually have to go and get certified for it. I saw a TikTok about it like a couple
Okay,
weeks
I was
ago.
gonna say like what?
I've seen
Like,
it before, yeah. So she's like one of the ones that like bars have them, like you go to certain Disney places have them where they're actually in the aquarium. So she's like one of those. And then
she looked very fit.
oh yeah, she had like a six pack
Yeah.
happening there. I was like, I think you need a smaller skirt. Does it come in a smaller size? Because it was kind of like big.
Yeah,
Well, and she
okay,
said
that
she
makes
works out every day too.
well, and that makes sense. Like,
Because if you're
you probably need a lot of core strength to
for
like be
sure,
doing that flipper
yeah,
flapping.
for sure. I was like, I liked her. I was like, I thought she was cool. I was like, I'd do the mermaid thing too. That's really awesome.
Yeah, she was cool, but I was well, we'll go through it.
I
And
I
it'll make
also felt it was like that whole last segment felt super
super
rushed.
rushed. They're like, you can come on, but you have 5 minutes, 7 minutes,
Yeah,
whatever it
they're
was.
like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
It was either that or like I feel like because she was like very like she knew kind of what she wanted, or she kind of
I
like went in.
appreciated that. Like, I
She knew it. She
appreciated
was like,
her, like,
I
just
would have
going,
done that too, 100%. Like, I'm so sorry if I'm going out there and like I'm gonna see guys that I'm not attracted to. I'm so sorry. Pop, pop, pop.
yeah,
Sorry,
agreed.
because chances are it was gonna happen to me too. So I'm gonna be the first one. Like her first question, like, how do you spice up your relationship? Griffin's answer.
I'm like, I was with Griffin probably up until this. And I was like, what's happening now? Like, what is the Coke can?
The Detroit came through. Okay, the Detroit came through on that one a
I
lot.
I was wow, but he, you know what? He made it right through to the end.
Yeah, he
So
squeaked right
yeah.
by.
And then Drew, I have a Delta companion pass. I'm like,
Is this like, first of all, I hate Delta. I hate flying Delta. Why do you have Delta companion pass?
I don't know. Well, but so what do you normally fly?
Usually American Airlines
Oh,
in the States. Yeah, I usually always get American Airlines when I fly out of Buffalo. Either American Airline or JetBlue are my
okay.
two.
I've flown JetBlue and Southwest.
Mm,
Southwest was really good, but I heard they're rolling back some of their
yeah.
stuff.
I've never I don't know if I've ever done oh, I might have done Southwest once when I went with like years ago. I went with Melissa and Aaron to Florida with all of the kids and they had her niece and nephew, so they needed another adult and we flew out of Buffalo. So I think that to Orlando was Southwest. But other than that, like all of my flights usually out of Buffalo are American Airlines, which I love because I get the points. And like they're just really good. And then JetBlue, I had great experiences with
Yeah, I
JetBlue
had a good
going to
experience with
Jamaica.
JetBlue too.
Like they were just like good company. And then from Canada, I usually end up flying WestJet. I know you always do
Air
Air Canada,
Canada.
but um, and then yeah, so she was like no attraction to Drew, which fair. Dominic, sexually spontaneous, I think he said, or something like that. And then she was like, "Oh, I don't like the hair," and I was like,
He's like, well, normally I like have.
I could see him have like I want to see what he looks like without the cornrows. Because honestly, the cornrows was giving me Shamar Moore vibes from there used to be a show on BET called Soul Food, and I think he was in it, and he had cornrows.
Shamar Moore had cornrows.
Yeah, I'll find it. Don't worry, I'll find you a picture.
Okay.
He had
Maybe put the picture here if we find it.
what he was. It was a movie. He was in a movie, and he had cornrows.
I
I'm pretty
only
sure it's Soul Food.
I only see him as Criminal Minds Shamar Moore.
Derek. We
Mm-hmm.
like Derek. Anyway, Chris, obviously it was the height thing. She was like, I feel like we're the same height, but like, let's be honest, honey, you were gonna X him anyway.
Everybody was.
Hashim's was like role play, travel, spontaneity. I was like, okay, cool. Um, Elliot, I don't even know. I didn't even write down.
He said he was turned off by the mermaid costume, but he basically got her to pop.
Oh yes, 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 because of the age, I think he said again. But then he came through with the, well, you know, like if you want to slide into my DMs, like nobody wants to slide in your DMs, Elliot.
Elliot is the hey, hey,
Hey,
hey, fire emoji. Hey,
hey, how you doing?
hey,
Hey, what you up to?
hey.
Yeah, that's Elliot. I was like, ew. Lorenzo obviously was like, I think he said role play, spice it up.
She popped.
She popped, obviously. Andrew, he was new. He was a lifeguard. Did he pop it or did she?
She did because he made a joke about mouth to mouth.
Oh, Fair, but I also feel like that could have been like pretty aligned. Like
I know. I think she just didn't find him.
I think they were like, you need to pop as many as you can as fast as possible. Like
yes.
Like the countdown, there's probably like a big timer behind.
Oh, good point.
Right?
Yes,
Especially if it's live. I
Yeah.
think they only give them an hour, maybe max.
I think it was
45
than
minutes.
that. Yeah.
I think it's 45 minutes,
I think
right?
so. Yeah.
So then now we're down to Griffin and Hashim. And like I love that Griffin was like, I dated an imitator for Disney and she was fucking crazy.
I thought that was
Are
hilarious.
you crazy?
I thought that was hilarious actually.
And she was like, well no, like I actually like Disney and I'm going. Like I'm a season's pass holder.
I feel like she popped, but I feel like if it had gotten down to just Griffin, I feel like he would have popped.
Yeah, I think he would have been traumatized. Like he's clearly been
traumatized by Disney, whatever she was.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Which like I'm not surprised because like some of the Disney princess imitators, they are a little bit like out there and stuff like that. You do have to be a little bit like, and like not the ones that work for Disney themselves, but the ones who do like the parties and stuff like that. Like I can see them being super, super weird and yeah. Being a little bit weird. I mean, I would do it. I would be Belle, obviously, but I'm normal. Hashim's was like big family. And then like I thought actually I thought her question about like what are your needs in a relationship? I thought that was good. I'm like, that's a pretty like that's one where you could be like, hey, what do I need from my partner? And I feel like both the guy like Hashim's answer was okay, like I need them to be there for me. But like Griffin, I was like, what is his answer? Like, what do you need out of a relationship from your partner? Like, what do you need them to do? Do you need them to like be that person that's like, hey babe, just running out. Like, do you need communication? Do you need them to touch base? Like, what do you need? But and then I was just like, I'm gonna bet that nothing's gonna happen between her and Hashim.
No.
He was just like, I fucking made it here 3 times. I gotta go.
The host is gonna like,
yeah,
she's not gonna be happy if I pop my balloon again. Yeah, because I was shocked. Shocked. Because
like once she's older, which he popped for all the other 35-year-olds. Like I thought he would have been better suited with what's her face, Aliyah. Where was that? April. Yeah, like I thought I'm like physically, match wise, whatever. You're better suited with April, but you popped your balloon because of her age, so you didn't pop your balloon with this one.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't understand.
You just wanted to make it to the end 3 times out of 4.
He's like, fuck, I gotta go home with somebody.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay, let's go. But I'll have hope for the first 2. We had 2. Like I have hope for them.
2 decent matches. Yeah.
2 decent matches. Like I hope we get an update from them because that was cute. And yeah, we'll see what happens going forward. So, next week I think we'll have a little lead up to the long weekend. So that's exciting. Special surprise, guys. Yeah. And then we'll be in like full-blown summer, so we might have like an occasional change of scenery maybe for the podcast episodes. So, yeah, we might catch us a little poolside action. Right? Sipping some margs, but yeah, so everybody have a wonderful week and thanks for joining us. Yeah.
A lick of sugar and spice.